Chapter 9, Stocks I Would Avoid. In this chapter, Peter Lynch talks about 6 broad categories of stocks which he would avoid buying. These are: the hottest stock from the hottest industry. Lynch says that investors are always tempted to buy the hottest stock from the hottest industry, and usually when you buy the hottest stock from the hottest industry, the stock goes up initially, but shortly afterwards, it usually suffers a drastic, sudden and a severe fall. By this time, the small profits turn into bigger losses. Lynch talks about how the hot industries attract a lot of competition which eats away profit margins. Lynch speaks about the time when carpet industry was booming. Every household wanted carpets in some form or the other. Initial few carpet manufacturers were making more money than they knew how to spend. Then the competition set in, and quickly hundreds of carpet manufacturers flooded the market with cheaper carpets and the profits vanished. Lynch says that till the time a company has not found its niche and loyal customers, or patented technology, competition will eat away into its profits. The next something. Lynch says that it makes him nervous when he hears that this and this company is the next IBM, or the next Microsoft, or the next Apple, or the next Amazon. Lynch says that invariably, when you hear that a particular company is being touted to be the next of something, it often marks end of prosperity for both companies, the imitator smaller company and also the original company to which it was being compared. Lynch says there were times when new computer companies were touted to be the next IBM, and soon afterwards, not only did the new company stock sank, but even IBM's fortunes slumped and its stock suffered a sharp price correction. Then, at the time of writing of this book, most computer companies are trying to not become the next IBM, and Lynch says that this suggests a turnaround in fortune may be round the corner for IBM stock. Avoid companies which are diversifying for the worse. When companies have surplus cash, Lynch always prefers companies which buy back their own shares or raise dividends, instead of blowing up the funds on foolish acquisitions. Lynch advises investors to avoid companies which are venturing into other unrelated businesses in the name of diversification, when their main business is already doing well and generating good amount of profits. When the going is good with the main business, then in the name of diversification, many companies tend to overpay and buy businesses which are completely beyond their realm of understanding. This ensures that losses will be maximized and destroy shareholders' wealth. Many times management finds it more exciting to take over smaller companies, however expensive or unrelated to their main business it may be, than to buy back shares or raise dividends, as it requires no imagination, but is invariably the best thing to do. Lynch also says that diversification into other businesses is not always bad, it's a very good strategy in situations where the basic business itself is terrible. Here he quotes the example of Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway was initially into textiles, which was a terrible business at that time, so Buffett's decision to diversify into other profitable businesses which he understood very well was the wise thing to do at that time, and today the results are there for everyone to see. Beware the whisper stock. Lynch says that he used to get many calls from people talking in lowered down voices as if to confide something personal. They would then say in a hush-hush way, "There's this great stock I want to tell you about. You ought to look at it. It's a fascinating idea, and it could be a big winner." Lynch calls these the whisper stocks. Often the whisper stock seems to be on the brink of solving the latest national problem, like the oil shortage, drug addiction, AIDS, or whatever. Their solution seems to be either very imaginative or impressively complicated. Whisper stocks have a hypnotic effect, and usually the stories have emotional appeal. When you buy these stocks, they may even go up before they come crashing down. Lynch says that he lost money on every single whisper stock he invested in. Lynch further advises investors to not get swayed by fancy stories and rather should focus on investing in stocks of companies with proven profitability. Beware the middleman. Lynch suggests investors to avoid stocks that sell 25 to 50% or more of their total sales volume to a single customer. Lynch gives example of SCI Systems, not to be confused with the funeral home firm we discussed in earlier chapter. He says at the time, SCI Systems was a well-managed company and was a major supplier of computer parts to IBM, but you never know when IBM could decide that it can make its own parts, or that it can do without the parts, and then cancel the SCI contract. If the loss of one customer would be catastrophic to a supplier, Lynch would be wary of investing in the supplier. In such situations, the big customer has incredible leverage in extracting price cuts and other concessions that will reduce the supplier's profits, hence, such stocks are very risky and best avoided. Beware the stock with the exciting name. Lynch humorously says that it's too bad that Xerox didn't have a dull name like David's Dry Photocopies, because then more people would have been skeptical of it. He says that as often as a dull name in a good company keeps early buyers away, a flashy name in a mediocre company attracts investors and gives them a false sense of security. Some words in company names like advanced, leading, micro, tend to make investors fall in love with the stock, irrespective of whether the company is profitable or not. So, investors should focus on actual business and not get swayed by fancy names. Stay tuned for next chapter. If you like our content, then please say it by hitting the like button, subscribe our channel and share our content with your friends and family.